Hello, I'm Stephen Keppel with Univision News, and we're here in downtown Miami at Miami-Dade College, the Wolfson campus. I'm very happy to be joined by our politics editor, Jordan Fabian for Univision News, and political reporter Matt Jaffe for ABC News and Univision. How you guys doing?
Good to be here.
Yeah, great to have you here in Miami.
Much nicer weather here than Iowa and New Hampshire.
Yeah. Nice. I'm sure it's a little bit warmer down here.
Just a little, nothing more than like 65 degrees warmer.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been a big day for political coverage in Univision. We had two interviews with the main Republican candidates this morning. Matt, you were there. What was your reaction? What are some of the highlights from that interview?
Well, I think that what we saw from Gingrich this morning was kind of vintage Gingrich. He is very aggressive. He is riding a lot of momentum right now, not just off his South Carolina victory, but also in the polls that we're seeing here in Florida. He is definitely surging at this point in the race, and he really focused his attacks this morning, I think, Stephen, on Mitt Romney.
Where does Newt stand at the moment in the polls, and what are his chances of winning Florida, and what does that mean for the rest of the race?
Well, Newt's up in some polls and Newt's down in some polls. This race has really gotten shaken up in the aftermath of South Carolina. It really gave Gingrich a boost. And right now, a lot of people think Florida is anyone's game. But a lot of people think Mitt Romney actually has a lot of built-in advantages. He has the money to compete here on the airwaves, and he spent a lot of time courting Cuban-American voters here in Miami.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those ads already here in Miami. Speaking of Romney, we just got finished with his interview with Jorge Ramos. Jordan, what were some of the main points? What is your reaction?
Well, Mitt Romney's really been portrayed as the most extreme candidate on immigration, both by Gingrich and his Democratic opponents. So I think Mitt Romney wanted to put on his best face before the Hispanic audience on Univision. He was very affable with Jorge Ramos, in contrast to Gingrich, who was a little more combative with our anchor. It was very interesting. He tried to play up his Mexican-American roots when asked about it by Jorge Ramos, saying, you could tell Florida voters I'm Mexican-American.
I would love to be able to convince people of that, particularly in a Florida
And Matt,
primary.
what would it mean for the Romney campaign if he doesn't win Florida?
I don't think it's do or die for him in Florida. I think that's too strong for a candidate who's got the organizational strength and got the money that Romney has. But it would definitely be a major blow to his candidacy. And, it would definitely mean that the GOP race is going to be much longer and much harder fought than I think a lot of people anticipated just a few days ago.
Yeah. And shifting gears a bit, this morning, they released a poll from ABC News and Univision News done with Latino Decisions, surveyed Latinos across the U.S. and in Florida. What were some of the main points that you guys found in that poll?
I think the main takeaway from the poll, for me, is just looking ahead to the general election. Latinos, despite their complaints about inaction on immigration reform and the economic problems that the country has had, they still favor President Obama by a massive margin. Whether the nominee from the Republicans is Gingrich or Romney, either way, Obama holds massive leads among Latinos there. And I think that's got to be a really big boost for a White House that is, expecting a very tough re-election fight. I think more immediately, you look at what's happening in Florida right now, the Republican race. Interestingly, Romney is right now doing much better than Gingrich among Latinos here.
He has the Cuban vote, doesn't he?
He's got the Cuban vote, and he's got it in a big way. And I think that's a big change from what we saw back in 2008 when John McCain really did well among Cubans, but Romney doing much better there.
Yeah, great. Well, great to have you guys here.
Great to be here.
It's an exciting day for Univision News, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you more from Miami-Dade College here in downtown Miami. Univision News.